Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Pratyutanarandana Yasodanandana Pratyutanarandana Yamudatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayathamadhava Kunjabihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Pratyajanaranjana Yasodanandana Pratyajanaranjana Yamudatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayathamadhava Kunjabihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Radha Giri Radha Girivadi Shiradi Jaya Jagannath Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Rayanam Namaskrityanam Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloki Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. So thank you everyone for coming. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, text number 51. Chapter is entitled Talks Between Narad and King Pachanabhahi. Savai Priyatmas Chatma Savai Priyatmas Chatma Yatona Bayam Yatona Bayam Avapi Yatona Bayam Avapi Iti Veda Savai Vidvan Iti Veda Savai Vidvan Yo Vidvan Saguru Hari Yo Vidvan Saguru Hari Savai Priyatamas Chatma Yatona Bayam Avapi Iti Veda Savai Vidvan Yo Vidvan Saguru Hari Savai Priyatamas Chatma Yatona Bayam Avapi Iti Veda Savai Vidvan Yo Vidvan Saguru Hari Savai Priyatratma Yatona Bayaman Vapi Iti Veda Savai Vidvan Yo Vidvan Saguru Hari. What did you? Savai Priya Junatratma Yatona Bayamna Vapi Iti Veda Savai Vidvan Yo Vidvan Saguru Hari Sa He Vai Certainly Priyatama Most dear Cha Also Atma Super soul Yata From whom Na Never Bayam Fear Anu Little Api Even Iti Thus Veda One who knows Sa He Vai Certainly Vidvan Educated Ya He who Vidvan educated. Sa, he, Guruhu, spiritual master. Hari, non-different from the Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki. One who is engaged in devotional service has not the least fear in material existence. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul and the friend of everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated, and one thus educated becomes the spiritual master of the world. One who is an actual bona fide spiritual master, representative of Krishna, is non-different from Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Visvanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Sakshad Daritvena Sasamasta Sanskrit Uktastatha Bhayata Eva Sabhahi. The spiritual master is described in every scripture as the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual master is accepted as identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. Kintu Prabhuya Priya Eva Tasya. The purport is that both the super soul and the individual soul are very dear to everyone. Everyone loves himself, and when he becomes more advanced, he loves the super soul also. A person who is self-realized does not recommend the worship of anyone but the super soul. He knows that to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead is easier than to worship various demigods under the influence of lust and the desire for material enjoyment. A devotee is therefore always engaged in the loving service of the Lord. Such a person is a true guru. In the Padma Purana, it is said, Satkama Nipano Vipro, Mantra Tantra Visaradaha, Avaishnavo Guru Nasad, Vaishnava Swapacho Guru. Even if a Brahmana is learned in Vedic scriptures and knows the 6 occupational duties of a Brahmana, he cannot become a guru or spiritual master unless he is a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, if one is born in a family of dog-eaters, but is a pure devotee of the Lord, he can become a spiritual master. End quote. The conclusion is that one cannot become a spiritual master unless he is a pure devotee of the Lord. One who is a spiritual master in accordance with the above description of devotional service is to be understood as the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally present. According to the words mentioned here, Guru Hari, consulting a bona fide spiritual master means consulting the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally. One should therefore take shelter of such a bona fide spiritual master. Success in life means accepting a spiritual master who knows Krishna as the only supreme beloved personality. One should worship such a confidential devotee of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation again. One who is engaged in devotional service has not the least fear in material existence. This is because the personality of Godhead is the super soul and friend of everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated, and one thus educated can become a spiritual master of the world. One who is an actual bona fide spiritual master, representative of Krishna, is non-different from Krishna. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshu Ummilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and by the mercy of my spiritual master, he is kindly forcing open my eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Nama Om Shnipada Krishna Pista Bodhale Shimani Tamal Krishna Goswami Namane. So reading this verse, I I consider myself very fortunate and also very fallen, because I have taken a very low birth here in this land of New Zealand, and most of you have taken like birth in India or Fiji, in the Indian line, you could say. So my line was very degraded and very low. We were worshipping the dog, not the God. So we were very fallen, but we were very fortunate that we got to hear this Harinam Sankirtan, where they're loudly chanting Krishna's names. And the first time I heard this, I was only 12 years old. I was very young in this Auckland Queen Street. In the distance, I was with my older brother. I was like, what is that noise? I could hear the cartels in the distance. And I was going, let's go and see what this noise is. My brother was, no, we're not going. He was dragging me the other way, but I saw the Sankirtan party going down Queen Street. And it had actually an impact on my heart. It was something I had not experienced before, because we understand this Sankirtan, this loud glorification of Krishna, is on another platform. It is not here, it is here. But we Westerners, we are not here, we are down here. So we got to hear this sound from our consciousness, and it is very fortunate that by hearing this sound, it is like the alarm clock going off in our bedroom, waking us up. The alarm is going, time to get up. So that and that hearing that noise wakens the Atma within the heart. So this is the age we are in for the Sankirtan movement. And we are very, very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for bringing this Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, over to the West, and instructing his disciples to distribute books, distribute prasadam, and most importantly, distribute the holy name. Because by just our hearing, by our ears hearing this holy name, this Sankirtan, there's hope for us. If you do not hear the Harinam, if you do not see the deity, if you do not associate with devotees, it is like your eyes are shut. If you have no knowledge, no gyan about Krishna, about the Supreme, then when the time of death comes, you do not know who to call out to, who to call. There's no on your phone. Who do you call when death is there? So if you don't have this knowledge, then you are considered lost. You don't know which way, where do you want to go? So a lot of the Western world is like this in this present age. Although we are in a very interesting time where things are moving, but generally it is the desire for wealth. We want money and we want pretty wife. These two things is generally what the Western people want. Give me big bank balance, give me pretty wife, and I will be happy. Not aware that death, Jara, is coming and is going to take us away. We have to be very aware of this. This situation we're in right now is very, very temporary, and soon we'll be taken away. But as devotees, it is not problematic. As mentioning here, Bhayam, we are no fear. We are not scared of death, because we have a very dear friend, and his name is Krishna, but he is also Paramatma within your heart. Your dear friend, Bhagavan, is in your heart, right here. So he can hear all your prayers. He knows your thoughts. He is knowing everything. So that's why we are clasping our hands at the time of death, and we are simply remembering Krishna and saying, dear Lord, please remember what I have done for you. And hopefully we have done something for Krishna. Otherwise, we're in trouble. So we have to do something for Krishna. This is the seva. We are encouraging everyone to do bhakti. Do something for Krishna, whether it's making garlands, cleaning, cooking, chanting, distributing books. Do something for Krishna that will make Krishna happy. And then he will remember. He never forgets. Krishna never forgets. So this is our whole process of bhakti yoga, or devotional service to Krishna, is how to please Krishna. Now we may question, is Krishna God? How do you know that this little boy up here is Bhagavan. Because there is one personality who has got 4 heads. And he sits on a lotus when he first came. Out of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, there was lotus, and up there was Brahmaji sitting up there. And Brahmaji was thinking, what is this? It was all dark. Then he heard Om Tat Sat. So he was meditating. Om, Brahmaji sitting there, 4 heads, Tat Sat. And then everything was revealed from within his heart. So similarly for us, not that we are Brahmaji, but similarly, if we are sincere and we pray, then everything will be revealed from within our heart. We'll become very peaceful, fearless, joyful, like this. So Brahmaji is confirming, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the Supreme Lord. So Brahmaji was the first one in this universe. He is like the boss, the CEO of this universe. So Brahmaji is saying, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So we take the word of Brahmaji. And it was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who revealed this Brahma Samhita. He uncovered the Brahma Samhita. So confirmed without a doubt, there is no more any question, doubts. It is confirmed. This is what Lord Brahma is saying. So we cannot question that. And we understand through so many other scriptures, especially our Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a very authoritative scripture for us. And obviously, Bhagavad Gita is like the ABC. Krishna is standing there saying, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. And the wise who know this perfectly engage in my seva. So we consider ourselves very fortunate for this opportunity to do seva. And in this way, we become fearless also, because it is not that we have to question, does this process work? If you take the medicine, you will become healthy. And if you follow these instructions, chant 16 rounds, follow the regulative principles, no meat eating, don't eat the cow, don't offend devotees. This is a big one. Don't commit aparad, because that can be like Mahaprabhu says, like mad elephant. You have a nice garden and an elephant comes and destroys everything. So we have to be very cautious of the aparad to the Vaishnava. But if we follow sincere and we stay humble, then Krishna, he immediately becomes pleased. And we can feel it in our heart. And he may even reveal things to us from within our heart. And we'll be going like, oh my God, this is amazing. This process is actually, this is the real tattva. This process works. You do service, and then Krishna comes back and says, thank you very much. And he does so many wonderful things for you in your whole life. He provides for you. He's providing for everybody. The ants are being fed. The pukekos outside are being fed. Everybody is being fed. So we should not be overly anxious about our maintenance when we are devotee. Krishna will arrange for the Lakshmi and the food and the shelter over our head. That is not the problem. Our biggest thing is we want to attract Krishna's attention so that when death comes knocking, we can call out to Govinda, please, dear Lord, remember all that I've done for you. And in this way, we become very peaceful. So this is our whole process. And this is what the Guru was encouraging. He's talking here about one who knows the secret, because it is a secret also. So a lot of people cannot hear this. Like all of you, I can see the audience here, you are liking this topic very much. But if I was to go to Eden Park, where they play the rugby, and I was to sit there and speak, they would not be interested. They want to watch someone run around with a ball and kick and drink, and they're not interested in these things. So they cannot hear. But if you are hearing nicely, it is going in your ear to your heart, and you're feeling this is very, very good. This is very satisfying. So this is our good fortune, and also the misfortune of those who are not able to hear this tattva, this truth. But still, Prabhupada is encouraging us. go out and give this to the Western people. He is telling us like that. Like we heard as we were reading Prabhupada Lilamrita just before. He was telling his disciples, go to this hill and give them the holy name. Give Krishna. For like me, when I was 12 years old, I got to hear Harinam Sankirtan, and it was like, I could understand it was something different. So we have to be merciful and kind to the fallen souls. We cannot just sit here and go, thank you, job done, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to go out and preach. We encourage, please go out and tell everyone about Krishna. Even if you're just wearing tilak or whatever it might be, go and tell everyone. Give it out freely because everyone is waiting to hear this message. So this is what the Guru tells us. He tells us Krishna is God, and preach the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These two things, go out and preach. And then if the Guru is doing that, then he is qualified to be called Guru, so to speak. Even in Prabhupada's time, there was the incident of where there was little Saraswati, and Prabhupada asked little Saraswati, who is God? And she's saying, God is Krishna. And so she is qualified. She is also pure in heart. So we have to have a pure heart also. Otherwise, what we are saying will have no effect. Now, we cannot cheat. This process is a process where the super soul is in our heart and he will give us potency to speak. Or if we are cheating, then he will reveal. Everything is revealed in time. So we have to be very fearful. You could say we have to be scared and fearful of deviating from the path if we want to be able to be effective in preaching. If we want to deviate from the path and collect a big bank balance, that is all right. Krishna will let you do that. You can go off the path and get a bank balance. But you still have to remember that that bank balance will not buy you a ticket to Goloka Vrindavan. You cannot get your visa stamped or your green card, or there's no amount of wealth in this world. You can be a billionaire and still you can be in a very precarious situation when death comes. So I'll just tell you one little story. I'm actually knowing one person who is a billionaire. He is my father-in-law. So my wife's father, when he was very young, he used to play hockey. And he played with one friend, and his friend was a very smart man, and he is now a billionaire. They are both 85 years old now. They're very old. But this man has got so much money, it is just inconceivable. But still, he cannot buy a ticket. When he takes his last breath, it is the question of what bhakti or what seva have you done for God? What activities? What activities? So our actions speak louder than our words. I can sit here and speak, and then I can go away and do so much nonsense. So my actions is actually what Krishna is seeing. What are you doing with your life? So we have to try and create some good fortune for these people, because soon I will be meeting with this man and my father-in-law, and I'm thinking I have to create some good fortune for them. But you have to be tactful so that they don't become offensive. That they think, oh, what is this? I don't want this. So I've got to be very tactful on how I go these things. But even still, we understand for a devotee and family members around the devotee, 7 generations, you're good. If you have one good, strong devotee, then so many other people are favored by your activities. Because I'm thinking I have got a jar with the dust of Vrindavan. And I've got another jar with the water from Radhakund, on the appearance of Radhakund. So I managed to sneak those through immigration many years ago. So I've got Radhakund, and I've got dust actually from the birthplace of Radharani, from Raval. Because many years ago I was walking around Vrindavan, bare feet, dandavats. So dust from Raval and water from Radhakund. So I can use those. When my father-in-law leaves his body, I will be sprinkling and pouring before he gets cremated. I also did this to my mother. When she passed away, she got to hear kirtan and a few things. She was a very sweet soul. So just before she went in to get cremated, sprinkle, sprinkle, and Maha garlands, Tulsi wood, just did everything, right? Did the whole thing for my mother-in-law. Now at the, where they cremate the bodies, there's a lot of booters, a lot of ghosts there. And so when I was doing this, there was one sliding door right in front of me, and it was shaking when I was putting these things on. The booters were not happy. They were thinking, we cannot have this, Jiva. You have broken all rules and regulations, and now they could sense that they could not touch her anymore. Shama, all the flowers, the garlands, she was looking like sort of like Mother Teresa. I put a new thing over her head and flowers. So the booters were very upset that I was doing this. But this is our potency. So the devotees, we have these things that we can help our other family members, even if they have led a not such pious life. Still, she is my mother. She carried me in her womb. And Krishna acknowledges this. So he makes the arrangements. So you go there, you do this, and everything will be taken care of. So we have to take guidance from the super soul within. So this is our good fortune. We are fearless, 100% fearless. But we have to still remain humble. This is one of Lord Chaitanya's, but it's a very important aspect that we may have big bank balance, we may be driving fancy car, we may have so many things, but still we must remain humble and see everyone with this equal vision. Cow, dog eater, seeing the same, not this one, that one, this color skin, that color skin. All we have to see, the super soul is present in everybody. So therefore we offer our respects to everyone, even the ants. I'm a little dubious about the pukekos though. The pukekos, I have a little bit of a problem being humble with the pukekos. We have to shoo them away, but still we won't cause too much harm. This is my imperfect vision. So this is what the Guru is doing. He is giving us these knowledge, this guidance. And then if we follow these instructions, like I've been following now for like 30 years or more, and it has such a big impact on your heart. It really does. You become so grateful. Please let me engage in your service. And Krishna is thinking, okay, what service can I do, get you to be involved in? And there's so many things that he gets us doing. And we become so satisfied with doing that. So it is a very sweet process. It's just how to give it to others. This is really our dilemma, that we see so many unfortunate people and we've got to think, how can we help them? So giving them the holy name, even if they hear Hari, even if Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written in one of his books on even the word Hari, if one even hears Hari, it is so potent, especially if it is coming from a devotee's mouth. There is no question. It is like you are giving them that sound. And if they hear that sound, it can eradicate so much pap, so much sin can be removed just by this holy name, the potency of the holy name, because we hear that Krishna is present within the name. Within the name, and Krishna is there. Now we may hear this, but we may not understand this. But gradually through the years of chanting our japa, we may get the realization that Krishna is everywhere and he is present within his name. He is like dancing on our tongue, it is said, when we are chanting and we are singing. Actually, singing is the best because everyone is hearing the glories of the name. And in this way, they are benefiting also. So this Sankirtan movement is a very scientific process on how to reawaken your awareness of God. Not only your awareness of God, but it is actual love for God that is awakened within our hearts. And how can we not be attracted? It is really the lust and the anger that get in the way. We've got to remove the lust, remove the anger, and then you can become very attracted to the beauty of Srimati Radharani and Shri Radha Giridhari, the lifter of Govardhan Hill. And we become attached to these things. So we're very fortunate if we become attached to the boss. You know, we become very blissful. And then we don't need to be told, you know, no, you don't have to try and convince us anymore. We are already sold out to this beauty that is the spiritual truth. You know, Goloka Vrindavan, the land of Vrindavan, the forests of flowers. You know, how can we conceive? And also, we have this lotus here. It is explained that Goloka is not a round planet, but it is a planet with thousands of petals. So this is Krishna's ability, that his planet is a lotus of thousands of petals, and each and every petal is like a forest of flowers. And you know, there are the 8 gopis that have their 8 camps, and it is all there. And then in the center, there is so much sweet pastimes that are going on. So this is a very nice meditation that we can have on just the beauty. Again, that is in the Brahma Samhita. It is mentioned in the 2nd verse that the super excellent station of Krishna's is this lotus. So it's a very nice meditation. We were thinking, how can this be possible? But it is. You know, we're on this round planet that is floating here in this universe, and we're hearing there's so many universes. It's unlimited. Even the demigods, even the devas cannot comprehend the truth of Krishna's wonder and splendor. It is inconceivable. But what we have to do is just try and please Krishna and then become immersed in it. It's like explained to be like an ocean. So we want to dive into that ocean so that we can get more and more realization of Krishna's greatness. So in this way, this is how we come about it, by doing seva, by doing service. Everything is explained. Even if you take birth, it is mentioning here, and low birth, it's not so much your birth as much as what your actions are. You can take high birth, but then you can be like Jagai Madai and do so many abominable things. Or you can take a low birth and be elevated to a very wonderful platform. So this is our science of Krishna consciousness. And then, like I say, it's all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and also Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari. The beautiful gopis have come. They've given us so much instruction, nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. So we have to hold these things very close to our heart. We take their instructions, you know, Vachal Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam, you know, controlling the mind and the senses. And by doing this, cleansing our hearts from lust and anger. And when all these things are cleared away and they are more of a distance, then whoop, you can have these very nice visions and realizations because you have been treating everybody nicely. You have no enemies. That's another thing. Devotee has no enemies. It's a very diplomatic thing to have no enemies. Some people may come and attack you. I had one devotee complain to me the other day. He came at me. Why did you take Mahaprasadam? He said, I all respects him. He said, it was my service to guard the Mahaprasadam. And Madhu came along and took some Mahaprasadam. He said, I'm very disappointed in you. I've known you for all these years and you came and took the Mahaprasadam. So I could have started an argument, but Krishna within my heart, he said no. So I replied. I said, yes. I said, next year, I will give you a big stick and you can beat me with that stick. So this is our response. You know, someone is complaining, you go, yes, here is stick. Please, next time, beat me. So in this way, we try and remain humble. It's not, I could have given my counter argument, but I was thinking, no, what is the point? If someone wants to find my fault, then you can happily find my fault. Yes, that is true. I am low, fallen, and insignificant. And if you desire to see my faults, then please rectify me and beat me with a stick. I'll be very happy. It'll be like Haridas Thakur. He was being beaten so much, but he was not feeling any pain. Like flower petals. Just beat me. because I've stolen prasadam. That is because I have this Krishna guy. He likes to steal so many things. I'm on his side. We're a gang. When we go back to the spiritual world, we'll have so many plans to cause mischief to Radharani, pouring yogurt on her, whatever it is. We'll have so much fun because everybody is free from envy and lust and greed. All these things are here in the material world, not there. There it is very pure and very sweet. So let us aspire to go there. Give up your aspirations to stay here and make a plan to go there. Because when we go there, it's hard to comprehend how sweet it actually is there. Just even seeing and smelling and hearing, and then being able to engage in some service there. So we can do it here now. Here and now we can do it. If we are willing to give up the ahankara, the false ego, and have our real ego of Gopi Bharata Kamala Das Das, and many Dasi, Anudas. And then we'll be connected. And once you're plugged in, the electricity comes. You've got to be plugged in. You're not plugged in, then there's nothing. There was one circuit here that we didn't plug in, and so it's not going. There was one unfortunate part of this lotus that didn't get the light. I am knowing where it is, but if you look hard, you can see there is one circuit that is not shining as bright as the others. But that is all right. When there's a little mistake, we'll get to it. So please remain plugged in, and that is the best situation. Okay, has anyone got any questions or comments? I'll just read this verse again. When one is engaged in devotional service, he has not the least fear in material existence. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul and friend of everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated, and one thus educated becomes the spiritual master of the world. One who is an actual bona fide spiritual master, representative of Krishna, is not different from Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. It is. Good audience. Prasadam is a good one to start with. But then we have to be patient also, and we shouldn't be imposing on them. Because my son and my wife, material life can be challenging, but we just have to be sincere, be humble, patient, and your prasadam is always good. And ultimately get the realization Krishna is in their heart at some point. Like there was one devotee, Guru Das from Hamilton. His son was not so, and then when he leaves his body, then he fully, so sometimes they may not become devotees even when we're present, but then when we depart, so we just have to be accepting and understanding. This material energy is very powerful. The money and the beautiful woman, these things are very strong ropes that hold us. And also our own example is another thing. So prasadam, patience, and just teaching by example, by just us doing it, not so much saying it. Like today, I'm actually going to see my son. And now we did the whole Gava Samskara, chanting 64 rounds and the whole thing before we conceived, and he's taken birth. He's got a very good astrology chart. Later, he takes sannyas, or sannyas is there in his later life. But now, at this present time, money and woman. So I just have to accept these things because I know, we chanted and we called to the Davids, please send us a soul so that when we conceive, we have a very powerful son. And he is a very powerful person, without a doubt. But as far as there's a bit of pride there, these things. So I just have to be patient. I could start preaching to him, but there's no point. I'll just preach through my actions. So I send him a photo of this. This is why I came back to New Varshan to do this. He's like, wow, really? And so now I'll go back down and I'll be his humble servant. I'll be painting for him, doing some service for him, just humble. And then I'll come back here again and he'll see my life. So we just got to be patient, teach by our actions. I don't preach to him anymore. He has heard the entire Bhagavatam. When he was a little boy, my wife was reading Bhagavatam to him and he was dressing up in little tulsi skirts and doing so many things. So they've got so much mercy already. They're just going through a phase and then they'll get kicked by the material energy. The material energy will kick them very hard. He's been kicked a few times already by the material energy, but he picks himself off and dusts up. Ding, ding, I'll go for another round. So he's still in that fighting spirit of trying to enjoy. But as he gets older, he'll become wiser. And then he can look and see, oh, my father did this and did that. And he can see how detached I am and how peaceful I am. And how I have strong faith in this process, unmovable faith like that. So he can see all these things. And I'm not pushing it on him. I'm just being patient. I know one day Krishna will give you some opportunity. One day you'll become attracted. Actually, what it is you'll become disgusted with the material world. And it mentions that the women are like a beautiful flower, right? But what happens to that flower over time? Over time, the flower becomes unattractive. So over time, we become more disgusted or detached. So I've just got to let time play its course. And then by the time he is 50, he'll be thinking, what is left in this world? And then hopefully he will turn to Bhagavatam and he'll open. And his name is Narad. And he can hear the narration here of Narada Muni about King Pachanabarisat. And then the penny will drop. And that'll be it. So we have to be patient like that. It's all waiting like these are explained to be like bombs, ticking time bombs. And I had one of these ticking time bombs. I'll just tell you very briefly. Many know this story. I was not born a devotee. I was raised a Westerner. So we used to drink. And so there is one motorway here. We had been drinking and we're coming home on the motorway. A car pulls up beside us on the motorway and gives us a book as we're going down the motorway. So that book we took home, intoxicated, put in the cupboard. And so it's like a bomb, just ticking, tick, tick, tick. And then one day, boom, I opened the book. The rest is history. So this is the power of the books. The books can deliver the most fallen, and I'm fully evidence that these books are very powerful. Just one line of these books is very. The picture on the back was of Srila Prabhupada, and that's what attracted me. It was a Swamiji, and I was in a very distressful condition, and I thought maybe I should look at the spiritual thing and get a bit of peace. So it was that book sat in our cupboard for like 3 years, just ticking away, and then oof. So yeah, patience. We're just going to be patient with everybody. Sooner or later, the time is right. Everything will fructify. It's like seeds. Some are not ready to sprout yet. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. Mataji is saying we should pray also for our children. But even when we're praying, we can see nothing is happening. But rest assured, Krishna is hearing your prayers. He's got a plan. Like with Shishupal, where Krishna tolerated so much from Shishupal, right? But he was counting, dong, 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 chop. So it's like that. When the time is right, these things, the good things will happen. Okay, let's leave it there. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Share the Prabhupada ki. Go with Premanandi.